Kampala Serena Conference Center, the NTV Uganda studios. And tonight on the show, we are celebrating Women's Month and just really reminding women to look beyond what they can do and test themselves to do more. How do you participate in empowering the girl child, and how do you do it different to get different results? We meet 33-year-old Jamila Mayanja, who went all out and is now skilling young women to give them the skills to empower themselves and then pay it back. Tell me about yourself, Jamila.
Hi, nice to be here. My name is Jamila Mayanja. I'm the founder and team leader of Smart Girls Foundation Uganda. A former OG of Nabisonsa Girls School, Kitante Primary School. I went to MUBS, studied BBA and marketing. Yeah, single lady with one handsome boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about your organization and the work that you're doing.
Okay, I started Smart Girls in 2015 to solely empower girls and women. What we do in Smart Girls is to really work with young girls to build their self-esteem, their confidence, but to mostly have them equipped and skilled so that they can improve their economical sustainability. Yeah, so really Smart Girls embodies empowering a young girl to be healthy and economically sustainable.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get to think about Smart Girls? Was there, I noticed you said you were in a single school at a point, single sex school. Was there any inspiration from being in an all-girls school? Did you feel like at a point, why aren't we able to do this, and then think we need to learn how to do this?
Yeah, that is very, very true. I wouldn't say I was really a stubborn girl, but when I was in Abisunsa, when I had lost my first mother, I got a bit depressed, and I had lost a little bit of self-esteem. So in Abisunsa was really a big role in building my self-esteem, and I worked tirelessly in Abisunsa to help fellow girls and friends to build their self-esteem to the extent in my HSC I was on every cabinet of every club. I even started a club. Like I was all over the place in social work when I was in the school. I was even an A-level counselor. So I believe my being in that school built to the work that I do right now, because I'm quite passionate in doing it. Mrs. Lubega kept on telling me, I'm seeing what you're going to do in the future, and I didn't believe her until now.
Have you gone back to her and said, now I see what you were talking about?
Yes, I met her recently when I invited her to one of our events to talk to the girls. Like, she told me, I told you so. I'm like, you didn't tell anybody that I told you so. Yeah.
You mentioned you lost your mother while you're in Form 3, and you lost your father later on along the way, and you now had to figure out, sustenance for yourself. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I lost my real mom in Form 3. As lucky enough, I have an amazing stepmother, and after when I went to campus, first year, first semester, I also lost my dad, and we literally lost. He was the food bearer. He was everything. He didn't teach us the hustle of you need to also go out and look for your own fruits. I saw how my stepmom really suffered the loss of my father being out of the picture. And my first year, I had to hustle and look for money myself, and it was really, really hard trying to look after myself, but also helping my mother with my other sisters. I just walked into a company called SMS1. I told them I can do anything, just teach me. And I know the former boss that time, James Mohaire, taught me a system that I learned in 5 minutes. And that inspired, I believe still it inspired what I do right now, because the hustle is what I teach the girls to do. Do not sit down and think the men or the family is going to bring you everything. You need to be creative on how to fend for your own sustainability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done so many projects. I mean, I can see now from, speaking from way back when you were in school, starting up, being in every club, setting up your own clubs. Yeah. But growing up now in the workspace, I know you've done so many projects. You were telling me earlier about the father-daughter dance and all of that. Can you just briefly touch on them?
Okay. One of the biggest events, as you said, I was with a few friends, and they were battling. I always wished my dad was alive until that time, because I felt like we didn't get to bond so much. Being a Muslim lady, my dad had over 4 wives, and it was very hard to have that relationship. And I'm a believer so much that ladies are who they are in marriages in life after they've had that special bond with their fathers. So I started the father-daughter dance, first to help the normal modern girl who doesn't have the relationship with their dad, but also to fundraise for reusable pads, because there's a lot of menstrual poverty in the country. And while doing that, I gave out a number of usable pads through the event, because I did the event for 3 years here at the Serena Hotel. It was quite a success, but events are really hard. But the results in doing them were quite amazing, because we got to understand the women we were giving back to, the young girls were giving back to, and we found out the fact that they were going through, the poverty was too much. And I kept on wondering, am I going to give these handouts for usable pads all the time? It gave birth to something called a J-Mobile laundry business, because I was tired of giving out handouts. As like, how do I help
sustainability?
Give them a sustainability. Most of the girls in the slum areas, there's so much basic work they could do to get money, so that they don't have to keep on begging for handouts. And this worked out for some time, because I'd keep the girls, and anyway, because I also hate washing clothes, so the ladies were, it was a plus for me myself. So I collected these ladies, I would give them work, and they would wash the clothes for bachelors, and later I put them in a training with entrepreneur and employable skills training.
So you'd call your male friends who are your single male friends and say, bring all your clothes, we're going to wash them, and then you pay money.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the money they'll pay me, I'll take off a little bit to keep on getting more of my male friends, or even young female married time who didn't like washing clothes like me. And it worked out so well. I had over 42 ladies who are working with in the areas of Kawempe, Waise.
Yeah.
And after the weekend and Monday, would put them in the entrepreneur and employable skills training to make sure the money that I've been paying them in the laundry, they have to save and start their own businesses. So that led to them, some of them started market stalls, some of them started tailoring, small tailoring, others started like salooning, but the biggest was starting market stalls and food vending.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know when you say that, it irritates you a lot.
Yes.
You don't like market stalls and saloon vending, but you're going to tell me about that. You left shortly after and went to the US to study design thinking. Just briefly run me through that. So
the exciting part, the work that I was doing was noticed by the US Embassy, and they took me through first attempt. It was called the Generation Change chapter. It was about young ladies who are creating change in their communities, but making sure the communities are peaceful. And later then President Obama started a program called the Young African Leaders Initiative that they asked me to apply for. The first time I applied, I didn't go through. But the next time I applied, I went through, and we went to a university called Dartmouth University under the business track, and we're learning design thinking. This is a process where you design an idea or a solution for people, but while piloting it, it's quite an interesting structure of implementing. Yeah, it was a cool one, because that exact program led to my shout out by Barack Obama, which was really cool. Came back and found other issues happening to the ladies. Yeah,
they're all abandoned the market stalls. And
yes.
Okay, tell me about why you hate market stalls. And
so when I came back from the US, because we're there for a long time, and these are ladies who needed a constant check-in. And that time my team was really small. We couldn't do constant check-ins. So the issue was these ladies were from the same area and were starting the same businesses. So, and these were ladies who were coming, who were surviving, getting out of gender-based violence, who were getting out of sex work. So whenever they would try and get clients, they would always fight for the clients. So whenever they would fight for clients, they're like, this is not working out. I'm done. So I was really buzzed that why, whenever they would collect the money, they would go through this training, the first idea they would get was, I need to start a market stall. I need to start a small salon. I need to start a food vending. Like, is that the only thing ladies can actually do? And you even see it in the modern, as if educated girls. The first thing they think of, I'm going to do
as if educated girls?
Okay, the educated girls. Well, the first thing they say, no offense, because someone's passion can be fashion. Yeah, but 80% of our girls, even if it's not her passion, she'll go and start a boutique. She'll start an online something to sell a skirt or sell something. I feel we need to strategize ourselves differently, because we have amazing potential that we sit on, and that community thinks that we need to do those things in particular.
All right. So tell me a little bit about how you started your organization. You go to your mechanic and he says, Jamila, go and market my garage for me.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
So the idea came in. First, before I went to the garage guy, I was watching telling you about the story. I was watching the cartoon and I loved this small bunny. It's called Zootopia, and this bunny wanted to become a policewoman. It was really a small bunny, sorry. So I met my Uber guy, and my Uber guy had used him for quite a number of times, and he had researched about my marketing growness. So he tells me his father wants to hire me to market his garage. And I'm like, but you can't afford me, I'm very expensive. So he says, I was like, anyway, let me go and check it out. When I check it out, I'm like, you know what, I want to flip the coin. Instead of marketing your garage, how about I bring ladies to come and learn, and you teach them the mechanics that you do. If I have them there, I never know the marketing you need will just automatically come to you because you have ladies working here. And that's how the Girls with Tools was born.
So you went and got, were these the same girls that were in the washing business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the same girls, the ones who had even gotten, and they came to me, Hajat, we've lost the business, can we do again the laundry?
What age bracket are we talking about?
So these were between young teenage mothers, mostly 15 to 25.
Okay.
And the biggest actually 18 to 25. Yeah,
okay.
When they've grown up. So
how did you start selling mechanics to them?
So it's one particular girl, she's called Florence, and she tells me this one really loved handouts. Then I told her, do you know what? I'm tired of giving you money, but I really also want to help you. Come with me, get 5 of the ladies who have been doing the washing. You find me at the garage in Kawempe. It's like, what are we going to do there? I want to show you how you can even make much more money, like millions. So when they come to the garage, I tell them the idea. They're like, let's actually try it out. It will be so cool to see myself as a mechanic. They've even first laughed about it. It's like me being a mechanic. I'm
wearing those overalls and things.
Yes. And I'm like, I'm going to design you so well. You're going to be like, it's also mindset. I first sat them down. Imagine yourself, if you're a clean mechanic. Imagine if you had your own car and you walked in and there was a girl like you who is clean, who is well educated, a lady. Wouldn't you want a lady to work on you than the guy himself who's dirty? And I flipped their thinking, and they were excited about the whole idea. And the beauty is I came prepared. I had already made the overalls, I had already designed them. When they put them on, they look, and I made sure they're not the normal overalls on the market. They were purple and pink, they were measured to their own measurements, they had all the right measurements. So when they put them on, trust me, they couldn't go back.
Okay, in 1 minute, think of the first girls you started with, Florence and all the others. Tell me a success story from one of theirs.
One of theirs, Peace, right now, is at one of the garages opposite Makerere University, and she is amazing. Like, she has contacts on her dial that are her main clients that won't let anyone work on them but Peace herself. And she's the lady who has been, whenever they find her in the garage, she has led to a number of flowers of girls coming to us to learn mechanics because of her. She's become very famous in Makerere because of the exact skill.
How does that make you feel?
Oh my God, I get goosebumps whenever I think about it. It's amazing, because when I saw Peace, she was so small. The teachers were even saying, can't she even go under a car? And now she is like off the hook. I just gave her basic knowledge, and now she's taken it beyond even her own measures. She's been able to train more other girls herself. She's been able to refer other girls. It's a power of when a woman is empowered, she makes sure her friends, her fellow women are empowered.
The entire nation.
Example. Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much, Jamila. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we're going to meet Flavia, who has a very interesting story to tell us as well. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We met Jamila earlier on in the show, and she's still in the studio with us. But now we want to speak to Flavia. Flavia is a 22-year-old who is an electrical engineer majoring in domestic installation. Flavia, thank you for joining us. Welcome. I want you to start us off with how you came to get the interest in the field that you are in now.
Okay. At home, I'm the first daughter at my parents' home, and when I looked at my family, everyone always wanted to be a salon worker, everyone wanted to be in other things. So I always wanted to be different. I always wanted to be strong. I always wanted to think beyond them. So when the chance came for me to be an electrical engineer, I just welcomed it.
You live with your mother?
Yeah, I live with my single mom.
Okay. And your mother wanted you to do what?
My mom always wanted me to work in a salon because that's where the source of income always came from.
Okay. So how did you come to hear about Jamila's program?
Still, as I told you that my mom is a single mother, I already saw how she hustled. So when I wanted to go to campus, there was no money for me to go to campus. And she told me, do you know what, daughter? I don't have money for you to go at campus. Deep in me, it was hurting. But I had to accept that even other people have to go to what? To school. Then
Your siblings, you mean?
yeah.
Okay.
My neighbor, one of my neighbor, there is a daughter called Oliver of the neighbor. She came and told me, she told mommy about the program, the Girls with Tools program, because she was there before. She was doing mechanics. So she told mommy about it. Then because when she told me it was going to do mechanics, I was like, mechanics. But when she was like, still I asked her, what is another course, like other courses you have at that? She told me we have electrical installation, we have welding, we have other things. Then I was like, I'm going to do electrical installation.
Okay.
So I went with what was required. That's how I came to know about Girls with Tools program.
Okay. How many were you in the class at that time?
I was 20.
How many were you in the class?
We were 5.
5.
Because by that time only this project was starting for electrical installation. It was just starting.
All right. So you are currently in the field working?
Yeah, I'm in the field working.
But studying at the same time?
Yes.
Jamila, do you want to explain a little bit about that?
So when we enroll the girls, we enroll them in a basis. We have DIT, and that's 3 months, 6 months. We have the ones who are really clever. We try to retain them so that they have the UBTEB. Why we do that is that when we had started the program, we really wanted to just give them basic skilling to inspire them to be able to take these careers further.
Yeah.
Yeah, but later on, like Flavia was one of our top students. We wanted to retain her to really have her qualified. As I told you, when we kept on implementing, we learned so many things. Because when we released her, she still wondered, like, she was excited. I want to take this point. I want to have more qualifications. And I had to enroll more teachers who would be able to take her to another level. And the beautiful things that we're able to partner with Bugema University that make sure that our girls get government certification in all levels, because we give them DIT level 1, DIT level 2. That's for the 3 months, and then the 6 months, then like Flavia, who has now finished all the levels of DIT, now she's been retained for UBTEB.
Okay.
But the fact that we wanted to make sure while she's studying, she's still working, because we can't give back, we need to help other girls. So that's what she's doing exactly right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flavia, you started your own company. Tell me about this company.
It's not my own company.
With
but
your
it's
friends?
Yeah, it's for the girls. When we were being trained as the girls, we saw that you can't just go to someone's house and say, hey, I'm here, I want to work. No, it has to go in protocol. You have to follow orders, you have to follow what is required for an engineer. So we had to form a company. It's Quick Smart Ladies Electrical Engineers Uganda. As in our class, as we are going for the diploma level, because you have to be qualified for the thing, and others who are coming in. So we started up our company as the girls. First we started 10. Now we have more girls in the company, and they really work hard to see that everything is cool.
How do you get your clients?
The way we get our clients, at first, as you know, when you're starting a business or when you're starting something, people are not there. And we girls, when you reach to
People don't know about you.
yeah, they are not always there, but it's you to face them and show them what you really do. So at first we used to go door to door. Where is your, do you have any extension which has some problems? We work on it, just free of charge. We don't request anything. So at the first site we are working on, we worked on the client. Then the client referred to another person.
Okay.
We have amazing girls that their costs are not high. Then that one also we used to do,
So
like even
very
our
thorough
pages.
system
Yeah,
kicked
even
in.
our pages.
On social media.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do exactly when you get into a house? Run me through your first time in a house.
At first, when I went to install a house, I remember we are going to do an electric bell for the neighbor. It was just a neighbor up there at the garage. When we reached there, the guy was like, "The girls are going to work on my house. No, please." So that hurt me. But when we reached there, we told the engineer we were with that we want to prove to this man that even ladies can do more. So the person we are working with was called. When the guy was called, we had to work on the electric bell. So we made sure.
The bell.
Yeah. We had to make sure that it works. We put in much effort. we were remembering everything we are taught. So we worked on it. We installed the bell. It worked, and the guy was like, "Where is the engineer?" We told him he's not here. By that time, we are not even qualified. We are just using the work from.
This was like
class.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it worked. We are very happy, and the guy was so happy. So now, when I enter in someone's house, I just want to prove the person that when I leave your ceiling, everything has to be connected.
Okay. So you fix the little things, so extensions, kettles, and things like that have a problem, but you also do the big things like, solar.
Yeah, I do the small things for electronics, what and what, because every electro engineer has to know how to install something like an extension, something like what is wrong with this thing, what is wrong with my iron box, like that. And what I want to like the ladies to know at home, if you don't want to be an engineer, electrical engineer or something else, but you have to know, like when this has a problem, what should I do? Because that has to be an automatic thing to every lady at home. Because when we have these babies at home, the little babies, because someone can touch an appliance and it gets some problems, the power goes off. You have to know, where should I go? What should I do? That thing. Yeah. So I urge every lady to just participate in the program.
For you, as you're a woman, and women are usually the ones who are in charge of the house in terms of all of those things. Just think of the little things that usually go wrong in the house, and what would you advise a woman to do, another woman, a man, whoever is watching, about just maintaining their electricals and also just keeping safe at home?
First of all, we have what I know, most of them, they have these mobile phones, the smartphones. You have to go and learn more, because you don't want to go to the class, but at least you should have the knowledge about it.
Yeah,
you should be knowing what to do in case my baby is having like an electric shock. What should I do? Should I just carry the baby off the extension off the socket? No, you should have to learn about something small, that when someone is having an electric shock, I have to first go to the main switch. I just switch off the main switch,
First of all, know where the main switch is.
Yeah, the main switch. Every person at home, every engineer, when the engineer is leaving your home, he has to show you the main switch. So whenever someone is having a problem, you have to first run to the main switch. And these days, main switches, like they have the circuit breakers. When it has a problem, it just goes off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I urge my ladies at home. You shouldn't just be there babysitting your baby, doing what. You should know something about science, like you should have it in mind.
All right, thank you very much, Flavia. We're going to take another short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We're coming to you from the Kampala Serena Conference Center in TV Uganda studios. And in the studio with me, two amazing women, Jamila and Flavia. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and join us for this conversation. Jamila, your center has grown. What are you into now from where you started when you think through it?
The journey has been amazing, but really interesting. We started with 30 girls. Now, last year we had over 100 girls at the center, and before COVID we even had girls all over the country coming in hostel, but after COVID we had to let them go. I feel that COVID has multiplied the problem. There's so many young girls who are now young mothers, who are in bad situations, who actually need our services more. That the space that we're at before and what Kawempe Tula wasn't big enough to fit everybody, and putting in place SOPs. So we moved to a bigger place on Gayaza Road, Kumbuzi, that helps us even have over 100 girls every day learning different skills, because we're teaching them mechanics, welding, carpentry, electricity installation, house painting, construction, and those who really, really absolutely don't want the male-dominated go in for tailoring, because it's also a tool. Yeah, so it's really an amazing journey for the growth, because after 3 months we are releasing 100 girls out in these fields, and we make sure we still group them into companies.
All right. I'm told, and also for the people who are constantly saying, but you've forgotten the boy child, I'm told you are also thinking about the boy child as well.
Yeah, this still because of COVID, and also we have under Smart Girls, we have something called the Good Men Project, where we try to end...
The Good Men Project. Yes. You speak really, really fast.
Sorry. The Good Men Project, where we really empower the men with a selfish reason to empower the girl child. Yeah. Because we believe you can't empower a girl child without empowering the man. So going forward this year, starting this year, we have started enrolling 10% of boys in the program, but also to showcase the girls that they're going to a world where they're not going to work only as girls. They need to work with the men. And yeah, we've been able to enroll a few of them, but for them they're actually paying. It's the girls that do not. They pay a smaller fee compared to the boys.
So you actually have teachers in there, running classes and...
Yeah, every day we have 80% of the whole study is practical, but because of the qualifications of UBTEB, they need to learn math, they need to learn English, they need to learn technical drawing, so there's also the theory part, electronics. So it's a well-designed curriculum, but it's more practical compared to the usual.
Okay. Flavia, when you look at your journey, do you feel empowered? And are you transferring what you've learned in, I don't know how many years this has been for you, a year or two or plus, do you feel like you've acquired some skills and now you're able to transfer them somewhere else? And I know it's not just studies. I mean, there's confidence boosting and all of the other practical skills that you actually need to survive out here in the world.
Yeah, the reason why we started up our company is because that we had the skills. We saw that we can't just retain the skills to ourselves, but we have to find more girls to tell them we can do better. We can be something better. So the program has changed my mindset 99%. It made me to know that I'm a warrior queen. I can be different. And I can change many women and ladies. Not to think about cooking. I won't say that cooking is not good. Not to think about...
I actually love cooking.
Yeah, not to only think about waking up, make food, go the man is coming back, do this. No, but we can be empowered and be strong women in the society.
And make a contribution.
Yeah. So when I was taught the first year, Then I had to come for the second year because I was thinking the things were interesting. Like I was getting more skills. So with these skills, I had to come and teach my girls. These ones that were just starting.
Okay.
So I've learned a lot, and the skills, like I'm using them. I won't stop. I know I won't stop at this level. I'm going to do more, still to empower more girls, because that is the motive.
Great.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that. What challenges have you met along your journey?
As a leader, I'll say many challenges. But because of what we always get counselors, like to talk to us as the girls. Even at school, even at home, you get a challenge. Now just imagine when you become an engineer and you're a female, like it will be having many challenges. As I told you, like we also went somewhere and the guy was telling us, why don't you go for marriage? Why are you, you know, they speak so much. They speak a lot, and they are like, they want you to lose the interest in what you're doing. When you tell someone that I'm going to go for 4 years, I want to get my diploma, and it was like, you're getting old, you have to go and get married. But when all that comes in my way, I know that at the end of the story, I'm going to be better. At the end of the story, my family is going to be better. At the end of the story, my society is going to be changed.
Yeah.
So many challenges. We have faced many challenges. They have disrespected us. Many think that we cannot do anything. But whenever we reach their houses, we tell them, you know what? We are going to show you that we are not only like the women you see, but we have something in us, and it's stronger than you.
I like listening to you, and I can't wait to see what your journey is like. I'm going to make sure I follow this one up. What has been, when you think about challenges as well, Jamila, what goes through your mind? Where do you go back in time to? What has been the hardest point?
Yeah, the hardest point has really been mindset change, behavior change, breaking the norms. What she's been talking about happened to our girls in mechanics. They walked into one lady walked into our garage and asked for a job, and she was chased. Like, of course, also on the center itself, the ladies we enroll who are like border wives, who are from families, and they practically come and pick them like, no, don't come and learn this. We want you to come and learn that. We've been able, like, we can sit a whole day with maybe a parent who absolutely once there comes in to give the kids salooning, but we can't, we want these, and we have to talk to them like for a full week to change their mindset. And it has been hard, really. It's hard to change behavior, it's hard to change culture, it's hard to change norms, but step by step, slowly, when they see the success of the girls, their sisters, their wives, they appreciate it. But also at the center, the tools are very expensive for skilling the ladies, and also we would love to leave them with a toolbox. So financially, it's not really easy, but I'm a person who doesn't give up. Yeah, I have a cool team. I'll use whatever is in my admin to make sure that I create what I plan to create.
Well, you spoke about mindset change, and I know how difficult that can be. How are you, what active steps are you taking to actually, you know, put the message out and say, listen, we need to change the way we look at things?
There's one thing that we did. The first year when we had just enrolled the girls, there was too much absenteeism. And the fact that they had to, mostly the ones who had were married, would leave quite very early or come really late, and they would have just 2 hours or 3 hours studying. It was really hard to get them concentrated. And then after, in the middle of the training, they're carried off. They come for them, they're like, don't go back. And I won't lie, the border guys, because most of them the time were the constant husbands, yeah, they got threatened that this woman their wives are getting very empowered, they're going to get money. So what we did the next intake, when we'd have them for a week, would ask the guys or the father or the husband or the brother to come and work with them to see what they're learning. Like, it's more of an exhibition. We're actually doing it again next weekend, where we'd call their families to come and see firsthand what they're doing and appreciate. And it has been enlightening when they come and see, when their families come and see them, and she's working on a switch and the other one is working on a car. They're like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. So getting them involved from the very beginning has changed the mindset, and walking the journey with them. And also the communities that we go to, we've been able to work with the chair leaders, the local leaders, to also help us preach the word we are not trying to have the women get strong and go and beat up their husbands. No, we are trying to go back and beat up the whole family. Flavia is not going to go and electrify everybody in the home, but really increase on the income of the family. Bring in extra income, bring in a unique extra income. And there's one particular man I won't forget. When after he came at the first graduation we had, he carried his daughter Josephine and said, I want her here. I want her to learn mechanics. He was a carpenter. I don't want her to learn carpentry. I want her to learn mechanics because there are some works I do for my clients. I would love my daughter to actually do them. That was my hero. To the extent I even walk by and he's like, my daughter is doing amazing things. So
wow,
that's cool stuff.
What's next for you, Flavia?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
Many things are next. Like, I'm seeing myself going somewhere. I have a journey to go, and I'm moving like in that journey. First of all, like at home, I want to change like a lot in my family.
Well, first of all, do you fix the electricals at home?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So, like, when I see myself, like, when I look at the old Flavia, I'm totally different. And the way I see things, because I've met many inspiration ladies, like, you look at someone and see that, yes, she stands and speaks and people are listening to her. So, the way forward, I see Flavia going somewhere. I see her speaking to girls all the world, telling them that you can do something different. You can be different in your society. Because I have a friend of mine called Jennifer. When she stays in Gomba. When she goes that side, they call her Engineer Jennifer. So when she reaches the home, the village, the people in Gomba, they know her as an engineer. She doesn't do the distribution and what, but they call her. This has a problem, come and talk to this one, come and talk. Okay, they see her as a hero.
Yeah.
So I want to be that Flavia. When I go to my society or when I go somewhere, they see someone changed as they are seeing her right now.
Wow. Thank you very much, Flavia. What next for you, Jamila?
Oh wow, I have so many dreams. I want to leave a legacy where I've changed and inspired young women and girls to take up STEM careers and to take up male-dominated careers, to believe they can be that Zootopia bunny who can change and inspire so many people, but appreciate that being a woman, when you're empowered, educated and working, that generation that is going to come after is going to be living very well. You're the key to every solution. I want to have centers all over the country to equip ladies in all these skill sets, but also all over the world, because I've seen myself change. To date, I've been able to skill over more than 600 girls. Now imagine if I have the right capacity, the right funds, the right resources, I am going to be unstoppable in trying to change the narrative.
I think even now you're unstoppable. The most exciting and positive experience in all of this that you have encountered, I'll start with you.
I have so many, because I've really helped so many girls. But I've seen Flavia, I saw her. Do you know when you get something, have you ever planted something and you see it blossom?
Yes.
Yeah, so most of my girls come timid. These are girls coming from either bad situations, they're coming from families that want them to be something, who are going through maybe gender-based violence, or they're coming from a situation, but when a power of a tool, when they see they have the power in their hands to make themselves something, they blossom. So I'm always excited when I meet them on the way and they're thanking me, but I'm like, do not thank me, thank yourself. Thank yourself for taking the leap of faith and coming to learn something different and actually implementing it and giving it back to another girl.
Flavia, I want an experience that was so positive for you and very transforming for you. Think back to something that happened along this journey.
So along this journey, when I installed the house, everyone like people around there didn't know that the thing is going to work out. They were giving negative words. But when I installed the house, you know, when we engineers, when you are starting the work, you have the energy. You do everything, but when it comes to making the work light, everyone has like, should be like having, you never nervous about it. You know, like maybe in a junction box I did something wrong, like I didn't do it well. So that my first house to light, because I worked with someone called Engineer David there, the lockdown, then that house, like we left it lighting. So that was the best experience.
How did you feel?
I was so excited. I was so excited, you know, like I didn't know what to do in the main switch. I didn't know what to do because it was just in class what. But I had no company, but we did the thing with the paperwork.
Thank you so much, Flavia, for taking the time to join us and sharing your story. Jamila, I want you to close. What would you like to tell whoever is out there watching?
I would like to tell whoever is watching, do not let the girls dream. Let them adventure STEM, let them adventure technology, let them adventure engineering. Unfortunately, our education system is still not so practical, but enroll them in things like what we do with the girls with tools. You'll be inspired to see the change you see in them. Just the self-esteem when they hold a tool is amazing. So bring your girls to our Girls with Tools Center. If you feel they're not giving you enough, trust me, when they leave, they will blossom. Let's not always think that girls are going to be lawyers, doctors, and everything. Oh, doctors, they need to be doctors.
And they also need to be lawyers.
They also
and
need to be lawyers.
Journalists.
But let us
and they
balance
need to
the curve.
We need them in every field.
We need them in everything. Let's not limit them to whatever you think the culture needs to limit them. Let's let them adventure. Let them discover everything and let them enjoy it. Because if a girl adventures in a sensible way, when it comes to tooling, their self-esteem is blossomed.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jamila. Thank you, Flavia. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. And happy Women's Month. I hope you were celebrated this entire month and even beyond this month. Well, that brings us to the end of our show for tonight. Thank you for watching. Coming up is NTV Weekend Edition.